As many of you know, my mom is one of the biggest reasons I do what I do. In many ways, she's my why. She was diagnosed with Alzheimer's at just 53 years old, and our family wasn't prepared. There was no estate plan, no durable power of attorney, no healthcare surrogate, no living will. And as the disease progressed, we found ourselves making some of the hardest decisions a family can face. Would mommy have wanted to remain at home for as long as possible, or would she have preferred to be in a nursing home facility where she could receive around the clock care? If her condition worsened, would she have wanted life prolonging treatment, or would she have wanted us to let her go peacefully? We loved her deeply, and we did the very best that we could to honor her. But the truth is, we were making those decisions without the benefit of knowing exactly what she would have wanted. Those conversations had never happened. Those wishes had never been documented. There were legal challenges along the way, too. My dad even had to go through guardianship proceedings so he could have the legal authority needed to make certain decisions and handle certain transactions on my mom's behalf. Watching my family walk through that changed me forever. It changed the way I think about estate planning, and it changed the kind of attorney I wanted to become. Tomorrow, our family will lay to rest my mom's sister, Auntie Marva. And as we've been talking about it this week and just going through it together, we've spent a lot of time thinking, remembering, and reflecting. Last night during our devotions, Noah asked me a question. He said, were my great grandparents Christians? And I smiled and I told him what I knew, what I could put together. And I said, yes, Grandpa Otto was a deacon, and Grandpa Thomas was actually a bishop, and he planted many churches. In fact, the one we're going to tomorrow, the one that my aunt attended until she passed away last week, is one of the churches Grandpa planted many years ago. And then he asked, well, what about my great grandparents? Were they Christians also? And I tried to think and I realized I have no idea. I don't know who those people were, even. Thankfully, my dad was with us. He's here for the funeral. And so we brought him into the conversation and we asked him. Noah said, Grandpa, were your great grandparents, or your grandparents Christians? And Daddy actually remembered. He said, yeah, my grandfather on my grandparents on my dad's side were Seventh day Adventists. And then my grandparents on my mom's side, he said, I believe they were Anglican. It started to get a little fuzzy. And then Noah said, well, what about their parents, your great grandparents? And yet again, Daddy couldn't remember. He said, I don't know. And I said, do you even remember them as people? And he said, actually, no, I don't. And that moment really sat with me. It reminded me how quickly memories fade. How in just a few generations, names become stories and stories can disappear altogether. And it made me realize something. We are all only a few generations away from being forgotten. And honestly, that could feel discouraging, but I don't think it should, because legacy isn't about making sure people remember your name forever. At least that's the way I feel. I've always said, I don't really care if you remember who I am. I care that you remember how I made you feel. Legacy is about making sure something of you lives on. Your faith, your values, your character, your generosity, your love, the way you treated people, the way you pointed your family toward Christ. An estate planning attorney is what I am, as you know. And one of the ways I help families preserve legacy is through legal planning, making sure their wishes are known, making sure their loved ones aren't left guessing, making sure unnecessary legal burdens don't become part of the story they leave behind. But hear me when I say this, legal documents are only one part of your legacy. They're important, incredibly important, but they aren't everything. Love your family well. Have the hard conversations. Tell people what matters to you. Document your wishes. Live a life that honors the Lord. Invest in the people that He has entrusted to you. Because one day your children may not remember every possession you left behind, but they'll remember how you made them feel. They'll remember the values you lived. They'll remember the faith you modeled. They'll remember the love you gave. And that's legacy. Thank you for letting me share my heart with you today, and God bless you.